Peace and grace to you, beloved child of God. There's something sacred about the morning. It's not just another part of the day. It's the hour heaven leans in closest to listen. Before the noise, before the demands, before you scroll, before you answer to the world, there's a silence God uses to restore your soul. The morning is when your spirit is most open. It's when your heart can still choose peace before the chaos comes knocking, and it's in that small, quiet choice that your entire day can shift. You see, the blessing of the morning isn't just that the sun rose again, it's that you did too. You woke up, and that alone means there's more written for your story. No matter what yesterday took from you, the morning brings proof that God hasn't finished with you yet. And that's why we're here right now, because I want you to start your mornings differently. Not out of survival, not out of fear, but out of faith, out of peace, out of power. So before we move deeper, take a breath. Let this be your pause from the noise, because this space right here is your reminder that you are not behind, you are not forgotten, and you are not too far gone to receive something new from God today. This isn't just a message, it's a mirror. You're going to hear truth today that will awaken you again, truth that will pull you out of overthinking and bring you back into clarity, truth that will remind you who you are, who God is, and what's still possible even after the storm. And if you're new here, welcome. This channel isn't for entertainment, it's for transformation, for the ones who are ready to heal, for the ones who are ready to walk again in power, peace, and purpose. If that's you, then stay until the end, because I promise you, the way you see your mornings, and maybe even your life, will shift. And before we go deeper, do me one favor, hit that subscribe button to Daily Motivation Prayers and join this family of faith and growth, because every week I bring teachings that will strengthen your spirit, sharpen your mind, and heal your heart. Today's message is called Blessings of the Morning, and by the time we're done, you'll understand why your mornings are not just routine. They're revelation. They're the proof that God is still breathing into your life, and it's time for you to rise and receive it. Let's begin. Number 1, the power of stillness before the world wakes. Before the noise of the world reaches you, there's a sacred moment when the earth is quiet and heaven is awake. It's that first breath when your eyes open, that silence before your phone lights up, that space before you carry the weight of what's ahead. That's where your real power begins, because in that stillness, God is not asking you to move. He's asking you to listen. Not to the doubts, not to the schedule, not to the pressure to perform, but to His voice. That quiet, steady, unshaken whisper reminding you who you are. The reason most people feel drained, anxious, or disconnected by midday is because they skip this moment. They go straight from sleep to survival, straight from rest to rush. And in that rush, they miss the revelation. You see, the morning is not meant to be conquered. It's meant to be communed with. That means your first victory of the day isn't finishing a to-do list. It's finding alignment. It's when your soul connects before your mind begins to calculate. It's when your heart listens before your mouth starts to complain. That's where the blessing of the morning is hidden, in the stillness. Before the world wakes, stillness doesn't mean idleness. It's not laziness or delay. It's awareness. It's giving yourself permission to be human. Again, not a machine, not a performer, not a fixer, just a soul that breathes, receives, and listens. And if you've been feeling lost lately, if you've been chasing peace and never finding it, this is where you begin, in stillness, because God will never fight with the noise to be heard. He waits for the quiet places. And the morning is His favorite one. Stillness is where strength grows roots. It's where the spirit recalibrates your heart after the storms of the night. It's where you stop begging for control and start surrendering to clarity. And when clarity comes, confidence follows, peace follows, purpose follows. When you wake and go straight into panic mode, when you reach for your phone before your faith, you're saying, I trust the world's voice before I trust God's. But when you wake and pause, even for 60 seconds, and say, God, before anything else. I give you this moment. You reset the spiritual algorithm of your day, and that shift is not small, it's monumental, because every morning there's a battle for your first focus. Will it be fear or faith? Distraction or direction? Noise or stillness? The power of your morning determines the rhythm of your day, and the rhythm of your day becomes the soundtrack of your life. So if your life feels chaotic, start here. In the first 10 minutes after waking, decide who will. Speak to your soul first. The world or the word stillness allows you to receive instruction before you take action. It's how you stop reacting and start responding, how you stop living from exhaustion and start living from overflow, because you can't pour from a heart that's always rushing. You can only pour from one that's rested and rooted. And this is why so many people feel spiritually dry. They pray, but they don't pause. They ask God to move, but they never stop long enough to listen when He does. Stillness isn't just an act of peace, it's an act of war. It's how you fight back against the culture that demands hurry, anxiety, and noise. You don't need a perfect routine to find stillness. You don't need candles or music or some perfect script. You just need honesty, you and God, no mask, no pretense. No performance, just presence. And here's the truth. When you train your soul to be still before the world wakes, you'll begin to carry peace that can't be shaken by the world once it does. You'll walk slower, but with more direction. You'll speak less, but with more power. You'll stop rushing to prove something and start resting in the fact that you already are someone. So tomorrow morning, before your feet hit the floor, before your mind starts racing, before you let the notifications in, take 60 seconds of sacred stillness. Whisper gratitude. Breathe deeply and say, God, lead me before the world pulls me. Because every time you choose stillness, you're not losing time, you're gaining alignment. You're not delaying progress, you're defining it. You're not being weak, you're being wise. The blessing of the morning is hidden in that quiet moment between who you were and who you're becoming. Find it, protect it, and it will transform the rest of your life. Number 2, gratitude, the gateway to divine momentum. Every blessing you'll ever receive is unlocked through one simple posture: gratitude. Not the kind you post about, not the kind you fake when things go wrong, but the kind that humbles your soul and says, God, I see what you've done, and I won't take it for granted. Gratitude isn't an emotion, it's a weapon. It fights against pride, comparison, and the illusion of lack. It's what turns what you have into enough, what you've survived into wisdom, and what you've been waiting for into worship. You see, every morning, you're given 2 options: to count what's missing or to count what's present, to look at what didn't happen, or to see what did. And whichever you choose determines the direction of your spirit for the day. The world teaches you to wake up and chase more success, more approval, more validation. But the Spirit teaches you to wake up and give thanks for what already is. Because the moment you give thanks, you open the gates of heaven over your day. Gratitude shifts your focus from survival to stewardship. It makes you stop asking, why me? And start declaring, thank you, Lord, that you still trust me to walk through this. And that shift in language shifts your entire atmosphere. You cannot be bitter and grateful at the same time. You cannot be anxious and grateful at the same time. One will always silence the other. And that's why gratitude isn't optional. It's essential. It's not about ignoring the pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that even in the pain, God is still present, that even in the waiting, something holy is being formed inside you, that even when the prayer hasn't been answered yet, you can still thank Him for the air in your lungs, the lessons that shaped you, and the grace that kept you from breaking completely. When you wake and begin with gratitude, you invite strength before the struggle even starts. You tell your mind where to go. Instead of letting your emotions decide your direction, you reframe your morning from I have to I get to. I get to wake up, I get to try again, I get to breathe, to grow, to love, to change, to hope again. Gratitude is a form of power that multiplies what you honor, what you appreciate, expands, what you neglect, shrinks. So if you want more peace, appreciate the quiet moments. If you want more joy, appreciate the people who stayed. If you want more abundance, appreciate what's already in your hands, because God doesn't bless greed. He blesses gratitude. He expands the heart that's thankful. He increases what you steward well. And sometimes, the reason doors stay closed isn't because God said no, it's because He's waiting for you to notice the doors. He's already opened. The secret of divine momentum isn't hustle, it's honor. When you honor what you have, heaven trusts you with more. When you start your morning in gratitude, you don't chase opportunities, you attract them, because gratitude aligns you with the flow of grace. The enemy's first attack isn't on your health or your finances, it's on your perspective. He wants you blind to the blessings right in front of you. He wants you to wake up and scroll, compare and complain, because he knows a thankful soul is untouchable. A grateful heart is grounded, it's anchored in truth, and no storm can uproot it. So if you've been feeling stagnant, like nothing is moving, check your gratitude. Have you stopped noticing the miracles that already surround you? Because you're living in answered prayers you once begged for, and when you forget that, you disconnect from your power. Make gratitude your morning language. Before your feet hit the ground, whisper thanks. Thank you for breath. Thank you for strength. Thank you for another chance to grow. Thank you for the lessons, the people, the peace that's coming, and even the pruning that prepared me. When you do this daily, your life starts moving with divine momentum. Things begin aligning, not because circumstances change, but because your perspective does. You start attracting favor, not through striving, but through surrender, because God flows freely. Through a grateful heart, gratitude doesn't wait for everything to make sense. It gives thanks in the middle of uncertainty. It doesn't need proof. It sees promise. It doesn't need everything to be perfect. It just recognizes that God is still good. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, don't let your first thought be lack. Let it be life. Let your soul remember the breath you just took is grace, and the chance you have to try again is mercy, and the love that still surrounds you, even after all you've been through, is proof that heaven still has plans for you, because the blessing of the morning is this. When you wake with gratitude, the gates of grace swing wide, and where gratitude lives, miracles follow. Number 3, renewing the mind, the inner shift that changes everything. Every new morning is an invitation to think differently, to see differently, to choose differently. And yet, most people wake up replaying the same mental loops that kept them stuck yesterday. The truth is this: your morning mindset determines your entire direction. What you allow to sit in your thoughts will eventually show up in your reality. The battle isn't around you, it's within you. That's why Scripture says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, not by changing your circumstances, but by shifting your perspective. You can pray all day, but if your mindset stays the same, your results will too, because prayer without renewal becomes routine, and God isn't after your routines. He's after your renewal. When you wake up, your mind is like a blank canvas. What you paint on it determines the color of your day. But too many people start painting with the brush of fear, worry, or regret. They pick up yesterday's pain and smear it across today's peace, and then they wonder why the day feels heavy before it even begins. The renewal of the mind isn't just about positive thinking, it's about powerful alignment. It's taking authority over what tries to control you. The thoughts that whisper you're not enough, that it's too late, that things will never change. Those lies are not facts. They're fragments. Fragments of fear that have disguised themselves as truth. And here's the deeper truth. You can't control every thought that enters your mind, but you can control which ones you give a seat at your table. You can choose which voice gets amplified, and that choice every morning determines whether your day will be ruled by faith or Fear renewing your mind means you stop letting your emotions lead your decisions. It means you stop waiting to feel like you can move forward. It means you anchor your thoughts in what's eternal, not what's temporary, because feelings shift with the weather, but truth remains solid no matter the storm. Every morning when you open your eyes, ask yourself, what do I want to believe today? Because belief isn't passive, it's powerful. It's the seed that creates your outcome. If you believe you're defeated, you'll live like it. If you believe you're loved, chosen, and equipped, you'll walk like it. What you meditate on becomes your mirror. So if you don't like what you're seeing in your life, start by changing what you're saying in your mind. Stop rehearsing defeat. Stop recycling doubt. Start speaking faith. Start declaring peace. Start affirming truth even before you feel it. The mind obeys repetition. So if you repeat chaos, you'll live in it. But if you repeat clarity, you'll walk in it. That's why the morning is sacred. It's your moment to plant seeds of truth before the world tries to sow confusion. Renewal isn't easy because it's daily. It's choosing every morning to rise above the voice that says you can't. It's catching the thought before it turns into a belief. It's replacing "I'm not enough" with "I'm chosen for this." It's replacing "it's too late" with "God is just getting started." When you renew your mind consistently, you start seeing things differently. Where others see obstacles, you see opportunity. Where others see endings, you see beginnings. Where others see failure, you see formation. Because a renewed mind doesn't see through pain, it sees through purpose. And listen closely. The renewal of your mind is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong rhythm. Every day that you wake up, your old mindset will try to pull you back. It will whisper, "Just stay the same. It's safer here." But comfort zones are prisons dressed as peace. And if you keep thinking the same way, you'll keep living the same life. God gives you mornings as mercy, another chance to renew, reset, and realign. So take it, don't waste it when you open your eyes. Instead of rushing into the noise, declare the truth. I am renewed in my mind. I am not my past. I am not my pain. I am being made new right here, right now, because the blessing of the morning is this. Every sunrise is a reset, a divine opportunity to shift your mind before the world shapes it for you. To replace confusion with clarity, fear with faith, and shame with strength. You don't have to have a perfect past to start again. You just need a willing mind and an open heart. Because the moment your mind aligns with truth, your life begins to move in the same direction. So tomorrow, when the light breaks through your window, let it remind you renewal isn't a theory, it's a choice. And the moment you choose it, heaven backs you with strength, wisdom, and favor. The day belongs to those who renew their minds before the world defines them. So guard your thoughts, feed them truth, and you'll see your entire life rise with the morning. Number 4, trusting God's timing. Resting in the pace of grace. Every morning carries a whisper from heaven. Slow down. I'm still in control, but we miss it. We wake up and instantly feel the urge to run to catch up, to fix, to prove, to make something happen. And in that rush, we forget that sometimes the greatest act of faith isn't moving faster. It's learning to rest in divine timing. You see, the world glorifies hustle, but heaven values harmony. The world says, grind until it happens, but God says, trust me until it's time. And that difference determines whether your mornings bring peace or pressure. The blessing of the morning is not that you have to make everything happen. It's that you don't. It's realizing that God is already at work in places you can't see, arranging outcomes you could never orchestrate while you were sleeping. He was setting the next piece of your purpose in place, and when you wake with faith instead of fear, you align yourself with that divine rhythm. Faith in the morning looks like surrender. It looks like saying, God, I don't need to know everything that's coming. I just need to know you're with me in it. Because real trust doesn't require details. It just requires relationship. You can't control timing, but you can control trust, and Trust is what keeps you grounded when everything around you feels uncertain. It's what allows you to breathe when plans fall apart. It's what allows you to wait without losing heart, because the same God who gave you the promise is the one who knows when you're ready to carry it. And here's the truth. Delay doesn't mean denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Sometimes God withholds things not to punish you, but to prepare you, because He knows that premature blessings can become heavy burdens. He knows that if you receive something before you're ready to steward it, it can destroy you instead of develop you. So the morning becomes a space of recalibration, a moment to remind yourself, I don't have to force what's meant for me. I just have to stay faithful. And that shift frees your soul from anxiety. It stops the spiral of overthinking, because the heart that trusts can rest. Even while waiting, think about it. Even the sunrise doesn't rush. It arrives quietly, faithfully, and right on time. You can't speed it up. You can't delay it. It moves at the rhythm of the Creator. That's the same rhythm you're invited to live in. Trusting God's timing is not passive. It's powerful. It's not sitting back in fear. It's standing firm in faith. It's saying, I will keep showing up, but I won't manipulate what's not ready. Because trust doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what you can, while believing God is doing what you can't. The more you trust, the less you'll chase, the more you rest. The more clarity you'll receive, because anxiety blocks hearing. But peace sharpens perception, and God speaks best to a heart that's still enough to listen. So each morning, before you pick up your plans, pick up your peace. Before you ask God to open new doors, thank Him for the ones He already has, before you question the pace. Remember, grace has its own schedule, and when grace leads, everything flows. You don't have to chase what's already assigned to you. Faith in the morning sets the tone for faith in the day. When you wake and declare, God, I trust your timing, you're not just saying words. You're aligning your spirit with truth. You're letting heaven know you're ready for whatever comes. Not because you control it, but because you trust the one who does. And that's when miracles start moving quietly in your direction, because faith attracts favor and surrender invites strength. You stop pushing and you start partnering. You stop panicking and you start perceiving. You begin to notice that everything that once felt delayed was actually being divinely arranged. So tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, instead of rushing into worry, whisper surrender. Say, God, I trust you with the timing of my life. I trust you with what I don't understand. I trust you with what hasn't happened yet. And I trust that what's for me will never miss me. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Because trusting God's timing is how you move from striving to flowing, from forcing to following, from fear to faith. The blessing of the morning is not just that the day begins. Again, it's that you get to begin again, this time lighter, this time slower, this time trusting that the same God who painted the sunrise has already written your story. And He's not late, He's precise. So breathe, be still, and remember, the pace of grace is always perfect. When you move in that rhythm, everything falls into place exactly when it's meant to. Number 5, walking in purpose, owning the assignment of your day. Every morning you wake up is evidence that heaven still has an assignment with your name on it. If you're still breathing, God isn't finished. You are not here by coincidence. You are here by calling. The blessing of the morning isn't only that light returns to the earth. It's that light returns to you. It's that quiet reminder from the Spirit whispering, you still have work to do, still have something to give, still have people to impact. Purpose doesn't show up in fireworks. It shows up in focus. It's in the small choices you make when no one's watching, the discipline to keep showing up. When you feel unseen, the integrity to keep doing right when it would be easier to quit. Most people think purpose is found in a position, a title, a platform, a paycheck, but real purpose is found in posture. It's in the way you approach your morning, your relationships, your responsibilities. It's not about what you're doing, It's about who you're becoming while you do it, you. You can't walk in purpose if you keep waiting for perfect conditions. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever, because purpose isn't about readiness, it's about obedience. And obedience means you move, even when you don't understand every step. Every day you wake up, ask yourself, what am I assigned to today? Not, what do I feel like doing, but what am I called to do? Because calling doesn't depend on comfort, it depends on conviction, and conviction will pull you through every excuse your flesh tries to offer. Purpose gives power to your mornings. When you know why you're here, distractions lose their grip. You stop living reactive and start living intentional. You stop letting emotions decide your direction and start letting vision lead you. The truth is, you don't need another sign from God. You need to start walking. With the light He already gave you, you're praying for open doors while ignoring the one He already placed in front of you. Purpose doesn't always look impressive. Sometimes it looks like consistency. Sometimes it looks like showing up to the same place, with the same faith, until the breakthrough finally comes. And if you've been wondering, what if I mess it up? What if I'm not enough? Remember this: God never asks for perfection. He asks for partnership. He doesn't need you to know everything. He just needs you to trust that He knows where He's leading you. Your obedience is His opportunity. Every small yes creates space for His bigger plan to unfold. When you wake up and dedicate your day to purpose, you reclaim your authority. You stop drifting through life and start directing it. You wake and declare, this day has meaning. I'm not just existing, I'm expanding. And that shift changes how you show up everywhere. In your work, your relationships, your growth. Purpose is not pressure, it's peace. Because when you walk in what you were designed for, you stop striving to prove and start flowing in grace. You move from I have to into I get to. You stop comparing and start creating. You stop waiting for the right season and start becoming the reason every morning. The enemy wants to distract you before you decide. He wants you busy but empty, productive but purposeless. That's why the morning is your battlefield. Because if he can steal your focus early, he can weaken your faith quietly. But when you wake and remind yourself, I'm chosen for this, anointed for this, prepared for this, you walk with divine direction that no distraction can derail. Your assignment today might not look glamorous. It might be raising your children with patience, healing instead of hustling, serving when no one notices. But hear this: obedience in obscurity always precedes influence in visibility. How you handle the small determines how God trusts you with the big. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm goes off, don't dread the day, dedicate it. Say, God, I give you this day. Use my words, my work, my presence, my energy for purpose. Let everything I do carry eternal weight, because purpose gives meaning to every moment. And when you walk in that awareness, you stop chasing blessings. You become one. The blessing of the morning is that God hands you another page of your purpose story. You get to decide what will be written on it. So write with faith, move with clarity. And remember, purpose doesn't begin when everything is perfect. It begins the moment you wake up and say yes. Number 6, remember who you are, standing in worth before the world speaks. When the morning light touches your face before you pick up your phone or look in the mirror, you're already worthy. Nothing you achieve today can add to that worth, and nothing you fail at can erase it. Your value isn't waiting to be proven. It was spoken into existence the moment life entered your lungs. Still, most people wake up already doubting themselves. They see flaws before they see favor. They replay every mistake instead of remembering every mercy. But the blessing of the morning is that it's a daily reminder that you are not defined by what happened. You are defined by what's still possible. Identity isn't something you earn. It's Something you remember. You are not what they said. You are not what you lost. You are not the version of yourself that broke down under pressure. You are the one who stood back up. You are the one who's still here. Every morning you're given a choice to live from your wounds or to live from your worth. Your wounds tell you you're not enough. Your worth whispers, I'm still chosen. Your wounds make you chase approval. Your worth reminds you you already have it. When you begin your morning, rooted in self-worth, you walk differently. You stop shrinking to fit small spaces. You stop apologizing for existing. You stop needing validation to feel valuable. Because you realize confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being at peace with your imperfections. Worth is not arrogance, it's alignment. It's the awareness that you carry light and the courage to let that light shine without asking permission. It's knowing that humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself accurately. You are human, yes, but you are also intentional creation. The same wisdom that set the stars in motion decided the world needed you too. Start your mornings by speaking truth over yourself. Tell your reflection, I am. Not behind, I am becoming. I am not broken. I am being rebuilt stronger. I am not too late. I am right on time for my own growth. Words shape identity, and identity shapes destiny. If you change your internal language, you change your external life some. People will never see your worth because they're still blind to their own. Don't take their blindness personally. Keep shining anyway. Every morning decide that you will no longer beg for acceptance in rooms you were sent to transform. You weren't made to fit, you were made to influence. The world will try to sell you identity through achievement, through status, appearance, relationships. But real identity isn't built on what changes, it's anchored in what remains when you anchor your worth to something eternal. Character, kindness, integrity. No criticism can steal it, and no success can inflate it. And if you've forgotten who you are, let this morning be your reminder. You are still loved. You are still chosen. You are still equipped. For purpose. The mistakes you made do not cancel the mission you carry. The scars on your soul aren't evidence of failure. They're proof you survived what was meant to destroy you. So tomorrow, when you wake up, pause before the noise begins and say, I am worthy, I am growing, I am still here for a reason. Let that become your morning armor, because a person who knows their worth walks through the day untouchable by insecurity. They don't need to chase love. They embody it. They don't need to beg for space. They create it. They don't wait for someone else to crown them. They remember they were already crowned with purpose the moment they woke up. The blessing of the morning is this. Every sunrise is another chance to remember yourself, to rise a little taller, speak a little kinder, and move a little freer in your own skin. You don't need anyone's permission to belong, you already do. So hold your head high today, not in pride but in peace. You are not becoming worthy. You are living proof of worth itself. Number 7, the freedom of release, healing at the break of day. The morning carries mercy for those who are ready to let go. It whispers that what hurt you doesn't have to hold you, that the weight you've been carrying isn't proof of strength. It's proof that you've been trying to survive without surrender, and today you don't have to keep surviving. You can start healing. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering differently. It means looking at what once broke you and seeing the lesson instead of the loss. It means allowing grace to rewrite the story you've been holding hostage in your mind. Every morning, God offers you a blank page. But too many of us keep rewriting yesterday. We replay the betrayal, the disappointment, the words that wounded, and we wonder why peace never settles. You can't receive new joy while your hands are still full of old pain. The blessing of the morning is that it invites you to release, to unclench your fists and say, I'm done fighting what's already over, to stop rehearsing the ache and start embracing the awakening. You cannot heal what you keep hiding, and you cannot be free while clinging to what's gone. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's freedom. It's choosing peace. Over pride, it's saying, I no longer need closure from what broke me, because I've found wholeness in who's rebuilding me. You don't forgive to fix the past. You forgive to free your future. So breathe again. Let the air remind you that you are still alive, and that means healing is still available. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to be willing to stop pretending you're not hurting. Because the moment you bring your pain into the light, it loses its power to define. You release looks like crying when you need to, like praying when you don't understand, like choosing peace when anger would feel easier. It's quiet, it's sacred, it's real. It's the sound of chains breaking inside your chest. And listen, your healing might not happen all at once. Some mornings you'll feel strong and centered. Other mornings you'll wake up heavy again. That doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're human. Healing isn't linear, it's layered. And every layer you peel back brings you closer to freedom. So tomorrow morning, when the light touches your face again, whisper this: I release what's behind me. I release the voices that said I couldn't. I release the guilt that kept me small. I release the need to be perfect, and I receive peace. I receive grace. I receive joy that doesn't need permission to exist. You don't have to wait for healing to feel whole. You can choose wholeness while still mending, because freedom isn't the absence of pain. It's the decision not to be ruled by it. It's waking up and saying, this will not control me anymore. Every sunrise is a symbol of release. The night doesn't beg to stay. It fades when light arrives. That's the rhythm of redemption. That's the beauty of morning grace, and it belongs to you too. So as you walk into your day, unclench your hands, walk lighter, speak softer, love deeper. And remember, healing isn't about what you lost. It's about who you're becoming. Because of it, you are not broken beyond repair. You are being rebuilt beyond recognition. The pain that tried to destroy you became the soil that grew your strength. And the morning stands as proof. You made it. You are free. Free to forgive. Free to love, free to begin again. The blessing of the morning is this: you get to choose peace, you get to choose release, you get to rise not carrying what yesterday left behind, because the dawn doesn't ask permission to shine, it simply does. And so, will you? If you've made it here, you've already proven something powerful, that your heart is open, that your spirit is listening, that something inside you is still hungry for growth, for peace, for healing. The morning isn't just a moment, it's a movement, a daily reminder that you are still becoming, still learning, still worthy of every new chance that grace keeps giving before you move on with your day. Pause. Feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. That is purpose in motion. That is evidence that heaven is still investing in your story. I want you to know this. You are seen. You are valued. You are loved. You are not alone in your becoming. Every sunrise meets you exactly where you are and invites you higher. So as you walk into your morning walk with intention, don't rush into noise. Step into presence. Let peace lead you. Let gratitude anchor you. Let love guide your words and decisions today. And if this message met you where you needed it, if it stirred something in you, reminded you of who you are, or gave you strength to start again, then I invite you, stay connected. This space is for your growth, for your healing, for your becoming. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Not for the numbers, but for the nourishment, because every week we meet here to breathe, to rebuild, to rise together. Each video is crafted to bring you back to yourself, to bring you closer to purpose, to remind you that no matter how dark the night gets, the morning will always come. So subscribe to Daily Motivation Prayers. Turn on the bell. Join this movement of hearts, awakening, of souls remembering, of people learning how to love themselves and others deeply, because this is more than a channel. It's a community, a sanctuary of strength for those walking through transformation. And as you go, remember this: the blessing of the morning doesn't end when the video does. It walks with you into every conversation, every challenge, every moment. You choose peace over pressure. You are light. You are love. You are chosen. You are becoming everything heaven already saw in you. Take a deep breath, step into your day with gratitude, and remember, you are the blessing you've been praying for. Until next time, keep rising, keep healing, keep shining. Amen.